Here we'll do another example of length with US units. We are asked to find the number of feet in 13 miles. Let's first write that we have 13 miles, but we need feet. When you do unit conversion, you begin by writing the amount that you're given. Your temptation may be to start with the unit conversion statement, but I recommend that you don't start here. The reason you don't start here is because this statement involves 2 units. Those 2 units are both miles and feet. When you do unit conversion, it's best to start with a statement that contains only 1 unit. That statement is 13 miles. We'll work examples later that involve 2 units, but that involves a different method that we'll go over when the time comes. We're going to begin with 13 miles. Abbreviate that MI if you wish. If you want to divide this by 1, that won't hurt anything. Then we'll multiply this by a fraction. Again, we're going to handle the letters before we handle the numbers. Because I have miles to start with, we're going to send miles to the bottom. I'll write that in orange here. On top, we'll put what we want to get at the end of the question. We've written that we need feet, so we'll place feet in green on top. Now, what we need in order to continue is to fill in the blanks on top and bottom with the correct numbers. We're going to use our unit conversion statement to do that. We'll write that 1 mile is the same as 5,280 feet. Now we locate miles and locate feet in our fraction. Let's start on the left. We have miles on the left, and we note that it's on the bottom in our fraction. Let's record that now. This means that feet, which is on the right, is on top of the fraction, and we'll write that down as well. Now that we've got our letters straightened out, we'll deal with the numbers. We've boxed in the number 1 as the part that goes on the bottom, and so 1 will go next to miles. 5,280 is boxed in as the top section, and we'll write that there as well. Now, once again, when you have a fraction times a fraction, you will do a straight multiply. We'll write 13 over 1 and multiply by 5,280 over 1. On top, we will now have 13 times 5,280, and on the bottom we'll have 1 times 1. We know 1 times itself is just still 1, and on top we'll have 13 times 5,280, which we can do in a calculator. We enter 13 and multiply 5,280 and press enter. This gives us 68,640. If we take 68,640 and divide by 1, anything divided by 1 is just the original number back. To put it another way, dividing by 1 does not change your answer. This means our final answer will be 68,640. Now we just have to place letters next to the answer. If we re-examine our fractions, you may be able to see that you have miles on top in the first fraction and miles on bottom in the second fraction. That means you can cross the miles out. The only unit remaining is the feet. Since this is what we wanted at the end of our question, we have now found the final answer. We'll write our final answer as 68,640 feet. It's important to include the right letters in your final answer. If you just say the number, that's not always enough. So make sure you say 68,640 feet.